Yo, man, LAZ, man, Gen Pop TV. You heard the next big channel on YouTube. You heard. This is the best jail stories, street stories, hood stories you ever saw in your life. Rikers Island stories, all in syndication. You heard. It's too much content on my regular channel for everybody to see every episode, man. So I gotta put some of these episodes back out so the peoples could see them. You heard? And that's what this Gen Pop TV thing is about. But don't get it twisted. There will be exclusive content that's on Gen Pop TV only. And that's a fact. You heard? But comment gang, make sure y'all tear this up. I need 100, 200 comments on this in the first half hour. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. You heard both channels, the St Laz channel and the Gen Pop TV channel. Share these videos to Facebook, tweet these videos out, send them to a friend. Let's get it.
Receipt from job, you heard? And Wendy's crazy. Wendy's crazy butter because the receiving room job, it's like a reception area too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a reception area, so all the people that get locked up from Buffalo and up, or I guess Utica and up, they gotta go through Wendy, coming from them county jails, and then they go to Elmira and get their B number or whatever. You heard? You know what I'm saying? They upstate number. So they had a special block in there, so they gave me that job. Shit was crazy sweet, B. You had niggas coming from the county jail and they didn't smoke, so they used to come through mad thirsty. We was getting wedding bands, motherfucking sneakers with the air bubbles, and you already know upstate you can't even have no air bubbles. You heard? I don't care what jail I was in, I ain't seen nobody with no air bubbles. And Wendy niggas was getting the air bubbles from the dudes coming from the county jail. You heard? Shit was crazy. So boom. Now in my block, I'm in it. As soon as I hit the block, I just was telling you about the program joint. But when I was in the block, I met up with my neighbor was a dude named Cuban dude from Florida, had like 225 years. So like my first day there, he knocked on my wall, like, yo, I can stick my mirror over. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. He stuck his mirror over, and as he stick his mirror over, he also passing over a blunt. You heard? So I'm like, oh, half a blunt, actually, not a blunt, half a blunt. So, but you know how that shit go. That shit was.
It was a joint or a blunt, like a blunt.
Because they sell the Phillies and all that in commissary.
Oh yeah.
You heard? So it was a blunt, a half a blunt. But you know that a half a blunt in jail is like a New York blunt. You heard?
Hell yeah.
So boom, I'm smoking my first day there. Yeah, this shit feel good. I'm like, yeah, it's a good introduction. So boom. Make a long story short, they got me in B block. You know what I'm saying? B block, that's where all the COs that work in B block, they come from Attica. You know what I'm saying? So them niggas, they used to run that block like Attica. And all the live niggas in the jail, they didn't want to be in B block because it wasn't no movement in B block. You know what I'm saying? And in D block over there, niggas was messing. You heard niggas was messing with the COs and all that. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Niggas was doing their thing, and like I told you, it's a black joint, so black jail, so them joints was giving it up. You heard? Not a lot. It wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you was that nigga, you know what I'm saying, you could do your thing. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple of freaks in the spot.
I never experienced a state jail with black police in it, man. Maybe one or two, but like. The whole, like, the majority of them.
That's downstate, right?
Word, downstate is about it.
Yeah, I tell you, them downstate black niggas, they different. But I was in Sing Sing and I was in Wendy before, you heard? I went home from Sing Sing. But make a long story short, so Cuba passed me the joint, I'm smoking, getting down, everything regular. So boom, they gave me the porter spot. Now I got the porter spot now in the block. On my company, there's only 3 porters: me, Cuba, and this dude named Miguel. Now they was running around saying Miguel, but I never witnessed no weird shit going down on the company or nothing. But the way that nigga Miguel used to stay up under Cuba, you probably could tell something was going on. You heard? You know what I'm saying? But my man Cuba was official. I'm saying, like, when I say official, I mean like he was just a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He was from Florida and he was locked up. He had like 225 years, so he was locked up upstate with us, and he got caught his case in New York.
So dudes was trying to say Miguel was piping Miguel out, or Miguel was piping him?
He was piping Miguel out. You heard? You know what I'm saying? But the funny thing about that, like I said, it was nothing never in the open, but you know, jailhouse politics go. You know how niggas be knowing what's going on around them. You heard? And basically, that they had them tagged like that. But they was the porters. Cuba was the head feeder, and Miguel was a porter, and I was the porter behind Miguel. Cause they, you know that porter sheet go by the longest you been there. You heard? And them niggas been on the company. Now, boom. Now, remember I told you I'm working in the receiving room.
Yeah.
Miguel is starting to hate on me because I'm working in the receiving room. And I'm like I told you, I'm coming back with sneakers with air bubbles, and I was one of them niggas. I was buying everything, B. Like, I ain't smoke cigarettes, so I used to keep cigarettes on deck. And like I told you, we was buying all that stuff for shorts. I'm talking about wedding bands. I done bought wedding bands for 4 packs of Newport or 8 packs of Top. You heard? You know what I'm saying? I done bought all kind of sneakers for three packs of cigarettes and this and that and this. You know what I'm saying? Whatever was value, you heard? And like I told you, there's a lot of things that was sneaking through. It wasn't a lot of things. The only thing that was sneaking through was the sneakers. But niggas used to be coming through with mad shit. Niggas would come through with cash. Niggas would come through with wedding band. You know what I'm saying? The sneakers with air bubbles because they was in the county. You know what I'm saying? And they was allowed to have their sneakers. And even if the sneakers wasn't my size, I'll buy them because I know that it's get them back. You heard? Who ain't buying a pair of air bubble joints? You heard? Crazy in the spot. You heard? And I was getting top dollar. You heard?
And police wasn't stressing you about them air bubbles?
Police wasn't stressing niggas. You heard? Police was not stressing niggas. You heard?
That's like green niggas had chains that was old. Niggas had chains that was completely against the rules.
Word,
niggas getting away with that shit.
But it wasn't frequent because everybody ain't work down there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then the niggas that did sell sneakers and sell things, they only the real right people. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Like so like no poop putt niggas was running around with nothing on. You heard? It wasn't like the half of the jail was running around with bubbles. No, they just shut it down. You heard? It was no exaggeration. Probably was only about 6 or 7 dudes running around with air bubbles in there. And a reason why most of them do, like 2 or 3 of them worked in the receiving room. So that's how they had theirs. But the rest of them bought theirs off of people that were receiving room. But that's how the receiving room job, I only worked in the receiving room for like a month because they got me out of there. Because everybody that worked in the receiving room with me, it was like 5 or 6 of us at a time working. Word of my mother, everybody got blown. Everybody, you heard? Everybody got blown except for me, you heard? She was crazy, B. And I wasn't leaving the job. They had to fire me, you heard? And every time I used to go back to the company, after like working there for like 2 weeks, my man 400, he'd be like, yo, L, man, because that was my man from the street too.
So what them niggas was getting, par itself. So what them niggas, they was just getting blown like on the compound in their cribs in the yard. Like niggas was getting them out of there because they was stealing shit.
One dude, I forgot the nigga. Oh man, the nigga name was P. Jamaican dude named P. You heard? He been working in the receiving room the longest. He was the nigga doing the most dirt. You heard? Because like I told you, niggas be like, you had official niggas working in the receiving room, and then you had niggas that was busting the niggas' bags. You heard? And busting the niggas' bags is, you know how like everybody bags be under the bus and getting off the bus and all that. You heard?
Yeah,
because part of our job is to unload unload all the prisoners' bags and put them in the cage. You heard? Or no, we put them in the van because the big bus pull up from downstate. Oh yeah, most of the time it's coming from downstate. The big bus pull up from downstate, and all them prisoners go in little vans. Because like I told you, that's like the little hub. For the vans meet there to go to Gowanda, all them funny jails around there, all the mediums around there, you heard? Yeah. And jail, and like they had a van that was going to Attica, you heard? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like we used to have to take all the bags off the bus and put the bags in where they be going. So if they was going to Gowanda, we had to put all his bags in the Gowanda van, you heard? And what niggas was doing, I ain't gonna lie, about out of 6 dudes working, you had about 3 to 4 dudes, or maybe 3 dudes. Half of the niggas that was working there that was on some, them niggas was on some getting there any way necessary. Because it started with, they never wasn't taking no clothes or nothing. They don't take no clothes or nothing. They was only taking niggas boots and shit, you heard? And niggas sneakers and shit. But it started with them niggas, they only used to take cigarettes. Cause you know how you could see cigarettes through them bags? Mm-hmm. And that's what they used to do. They used to really be busting niggas' bags for cigarettes. You heard? And then you got niggas, they going ham. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how niggas is criminals, B. You know how niggas do. If niggas got a chance to get you, that was like a perfect way to sneak thief a nigga.
They was busting niggas' bags open that was coming into Wendy's and not leaving the jail, or everybody?
No, it was leaving the jail. Everybody bag that they bust open was leaving the jail.
So how them niggas was getting blown up? Because niggas was sending kites over saying niggas bust they shit?
Nah, because what happened is, this is what I heard happen. I heard some official Dominican dude came through. He had mad Timbs. I was there when it happened. I was there when this happened. A dude had mad Timbs. All flavors. The green ones, the red ones, all flavors, you heard? And the kid P, and somebody else, I forgot the other grimy nigga, was a nigga from Buffalo. He was from Buffalo. He was busting bags too, him and P. P was from, I forgot where P was from. He was from the city, but they was busting bags, and they caught a good bag, I heard. They caught a bag with mad Timbs in it. So boom. So I guess I heard the Dominican dude went to Attica, and I heard the Dominican dude was somebody. He was the head of something, you heard? So I heard that nigga sent the kite back to the Dominican bros in my jail. And it was funny because, like I told you, it was like 3 of the people that worked in the receiving room was in my block, and the other 3 was in other blocks. So, boom. Now, it was one dude that like you just get cool with a dude. I just got cool with a dude because he started working in the receiving room, and he was only working in there a week. Yo, word to my mother, I started talking to him. We started talking about, chicks and all that shit, boom. And one day the Dominican niggas blew him. So they blew him, and they blew him something terrible. I'm talking about something terrible, keloid joint. So I'm like, I said, yo.
That shit happened while you was talking to him?
No, it happened while I was talking to him. It happened, I wasn't even there when he got blown. But I was talking to him, like I just met him like a week before that, and he's because he working in the same program as me, and like in the yard a few times I kicked it with him, and I found out that we not from around the same way, but we from the Bronx or whatever, you heard? You know what I'm saying? So I was just kicking it with him. You know how you just meet a nigga, you know what I'm saying? And then like 5 days after I met him, they blew his top off, you heard? Dominican dudes. So now I'm running around the block after they blew the nigga top off because I'm a little mad because I'm like, yo, I'm trying to find out why they blew this nigga top off or whatever. Boom, boom. So they was like, yeah, the word came back. That nigga was stealing down in the receiving room. You heard? So I was like, oh, all right. So boom, I had to fall back because I already know what it was with him. You heard? You know what I'm saying? It's just that he got blown up quick. You heard? They already had sent the dude P out. You heard? They blew him up. They blew his top. Then they blew this other nigga named Dashawn top. That was a nigga from Buffalo.
And that shit was all happening from that one kite that got sent over?
all this start happening from that one kite. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So boom. Now, but they not doing it. It's not happening everything ain't happening one day. You heard?
Yeah,
it's happening like days apart. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's like windy. Like niggas is trying to do shit and get away with it. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So boom. So now my man 400, he keep telling me, yo, Lil L, man, yo, get out that program, man, yo, go to the time allowance committee and change your program. I'm like, man, I ain't changing shit, you heard? Cause I ain't gonna front. I knew what was down there, you know what I'm saying? I was already addicted to them niggas coming from the county jail with sneakers and wedding bands and cash. Some of them niggas, a lot of them niggas used to have cash too. So I ain't gonna even lie, I was addicted. I ain't give a fuck if niggas was getting blown or not. My man was like, yo, chill, yo, L, man, go to the time allowance. I'm talking about, he was telling me straight up, he wasn't saying nothing about nothing happening to me. He was just telling me to go to time allowance committee because he must have been hearing shit that I wasn't hearing, you heard? So I was like, yo, I'm not going nowhere, you heard? I'm not going to no time allowance committee for what? I ain't stealing down there. Niggas know I ain't stealing, and I don't give a fuck, you heard? So boom. So nigga, long story short, like a week after that, I go to work one day. The CEO just tell me, go back to your dorm. You gonna get a mail. You know, you're gonna get a letter to go to time allowance committee. No, not time allowance. Program committee. You heard? So I'm like, program committee. Like, yeah. Go back to your house. So I go back to my house. I'm sitting in my cell looking stupid. Like, damn, what the fuck just happened there? You heard? Then I tell a few people, niggas like, nah, what happened is niggas got you out of there, B. The niggas know what you doing. They heard what niggas is doing. They heard niggas is getting blown down there, and you the only one that's still working down there. And everybody around you got blown. So the administration got you out of there. I was like, oh shit, because I was a little slow on that shit. Like, I ain't know why the fuck that shit just had happened. Because to me, everything I did was on the low. You heard? They don't, because I really wasn't doing nothing. All I was doing was buying. Like I told you, all my shit was coming. I was getting all my shit from the motherfucking niggas from the county. And every day, 5 days a week, they come from the county. You heard? It's just like this regular reception, like downstate. You heard? So boom. So niggas, everybody got blown. I went to there. They took my job. So now I'm regularly, but I still accumulated mad shit in the short time that I was working there. Like in that month I was working there, I got like 2-3 pair of air bubble sneakers. I got mad cigarettes. I got mad shit, you heard? You know what I'm saying? I got mad shit I just didn't have a month ago, you heard? Because just that easy from that job, because that job was crazy in the jail. Everybody wanted that job too, but everybody don't get that job. So boom, make a long story short. So now the nigga Miguel is supposed to be Cuba lover, but you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Boom, boom, boom. So make a long story short, we going out to commissary one day. Now, let me tell you, I had the store and all that in there. You know what I'm saying? I had the store, I had the and I ain't smoked cigarettes, so everything, my shit was cranking. You heard? Cranking. So boom, on the down low, Miguel must have been hating on me, but he was hating on me for strength, cause of the strength that I held up there. Cause I was up there on the company for a whole year, and I was up there while the company flipped 3 or 4 or 5 times, and I was still there. And you know how that shit go. And I always, if you a live nigga, you come on the company, 9 times out of 10, we gonna be fucking around. You heard? Only niggas I really ain't fuck with was grimy niggas, like niggas that was straight up petty, grimy ass niggas, and I could sense that from the jump. So all official niggas, I don't give a fuck if I just met them or I don't know them from a whole new world, whole new world. If they official, me and the niggas always got along on the company. And Wendy, they got the TVs in your cell and all that. So BT, movies, you know, everything is like a party, you know what I'm saying? Niggas is on the gate with it, bug it out, So, you know, I always kept it live, you know what I'm saying? So boom. And with staying out of trouble too at the same time, you heard? Boom. So now, cause I used to always get a lot of search downs, but I really wasn't doing nothing dirty. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't having no weapons and nothing in my cell or nothing. So I wasn't really doing nothing dirty. So every time they searched me, I had nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? The only thing they probably write me up for a Super 3 or something, you know what I'm saying, that I ain't supposed to have, or the serial numbers are scratched out or something. But other than that, niggas ain't had me on nothing. So boom, the nigga Miguel and Cuba, these niggas had it made, Laz, on out up there, B. These niggas got a mother and daughter, you heard? That live 15 minutes away in Buffalo, you heard, from the jail. A mother and daughter, white chicks, bringing them up the bag every weekend, you heard? And you go to, and you know, the Maxes, you get a visit every day. The Maxes is not like the Mediums. The Mediums be on the weekends. Most of them is on the weekends. But in the Maxes, you get a visit every day. You know what I'm saying? So they joints was living 15 minutes away. They joints, they was the type of niggas, they was getting visits all through the week. Then on the weekend, they get in the bag. So basically, and Cuba's a good nigga. Everybody loved Cuba. Miguel's a sucker. Nobody fucked with him. You know what I'm saying? So basically, and they showed a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? They used to show love. You know what I'm saying? So boom. Cuba was my man, you heard? Because like I told you, as soon as I got there the first day, he went like this. Passed me over half a blunt, B. You heard? On some official shit. No strings attached shit, you heard? I had to respect that, man. So boom. So that was my nigga the whole time I was on there. You know what I'm saying? Miguel, it was time. You know how like you get a nigga that you might wanna knock out, but you holding back, you heard? Yeah. That's what I was doing with Miguel, because he used to act like a chump, you heard? He was a chump, you heard? You know what I'm saying? They said in Comstock, they said he was in full gear, you heard? But when he was with me and Wendy, he changed and he went back into regular costume, you heard? See how niggas do? They said when he was in Comstock, he was in full gear on some chump shit. But then when he was in Wendy, when I met him, he was back to a regular nigga running behind Cuba. So that's why I tell you that they were saying Cuba was knocking him off. But you know, I'm not gonna say it like I seen it or I was witnessing it, you know, because I wasn't. You heard? I just know it probably was going down because they was the top porters on the company and they had a lot of free time, and they used to be in a lot of they used to be in each other's cell a lot because Cuba moved away from me. He moved to the last cell. At a certain time while I was on the company, he moved to the last cell, and Miguel moved right next to him. And when they did that, they used to be running in and out of each other's cells, you heard? You know what I'm saying? So I used to know they was on that punk shit, but like I said, Cuba was my nigga, so I wasn't even giving a fuck about what he was doing on his personal time, because like I told you, he was setting me out anyway. And when I say set me out, I ain't even have to ask, you heard? He was just feeling me. My man Al, he knew how I was handling and how I keep it. So boom, he used to be setting me out with whatever. But I told you the friction came in. The friction came in because I met up with my boy. My boy was in another block. And they had this white boy on the company. And the white boy on the company was originally from out of town, but he was locked. He had like 30-something years to do in the state in New York. And then after that, he had to go do like 20-something in Michigan. You heard where he was from? He was from Detroit. You heard? White boy, straight white boy, but he don't fuck with nobody. He was on keep lock. He was on long-term keep lock. You heard? Cause all he do was sniff dope, and he don't give a fuck. That's what he do. You heard? Nigga, pen game was superb. Pen game was superb. That nigga was on that. He was on them dating ads, them writing ad joints, some dating joints, and he bagged them pen pal joints. He bagged mad joints off the pen pal joints. And he had joints sending him mad money orders, you heard? From all over the country. Word up. And I seen him with my own eyes, envelopes from all over the country. So my man was like, yo, Al, I need you to get next to the white boy, because the white boy tired of dealing with Cuba and them niggas. Cuba and them niggas is jerking him. You heard? And this nigga, white boy money was crazy good. This nigga, all. So my man was like, yo, all I need you to do, L, is to make sure the disbursements go out. You heard? So all I had to do was make sure, because my man already had a way of getting whatever he had to get to him, because I wasn't in no company, I wasn't in no program with him. He was just getting, my job was to make sure the disbursement went out. You heard? Boom. I made sure the disbursement went out, and my pay was 5 New York nickels. Word to my mother. I'm talking about 5 New York nickels. You know, 5 New York nickels, that shit like almost $500. Shit, you heard? But not that much, but you know what I mean, you heard? Made a mad 25, you heard? Stick everything, you heard? And I wasn't smoking at that time because I was going to the time allowance. I was waiting to go to the time allowance committee and all that to get my good time back. So I wasn't trying to smoke because I knew that Miguel I figured that Miguel was gonna tell on me. I'm keeping it real. Cause and Wendy niggas were dropping slips on niggas. You know how that shit go. Niggas be like, yeah, such and such cell blowing, you heard? Come on, B. You know what I'm saying? I can't with these niggas, B. Supposed to be in jail and these niggas still telling, you heard? I can't with them niggas. But anyway, so one day we going to commissary, we going out to commissary. So then I'm playing with the nigga Cuba. Cuba used to take back a lot of cans, because Cuba buy a lot of sodas and shit from commissary and everything. So he taking back all the cans and shit or whatever. So I'm playing with him because Cuba my dude. I'm talking about I never had one problem with my dude. Never had one problem. I always laughed and joked and played with my man. I ain't fuck with that nigga Miguel. That nigga's a bitch. So, you know what I'm saying? So boom, I go back. The CO say commissary going out. So I'm running to my cell, I think to get my net bag or my ID, something. I'm running to snatch up. And I run past Cuba. Cuba running past me with the cans, fumbling them shits, making mad noise because they was falling and shit. So I'm like, man, make sure you have all my cans at commissary, man. You heard? Because remember I told you I was a store anyway. So I used to have my little sayings and shit. Make sure that money right. I used to be like walking around commissary, make sure that money right, make sure that money right to everybody that owed me. You know, I used to be on my shit. But everybody took me as a jokester with that shit because they know I was saying that shit real, but I was really joking too. You know? Like I had my own saying because, you know, I was a store, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of niggas depended on me. So boom. So I had my own sayings and shit. So I walked past Cuba and I was like, yo, make sure you have that money right, man. Make sure you have my cans right, man. You heard? So and I was only joking. Cuba didn't even say nothing. Cuba know I'm joking. Cuba running up the thing. The nigga Miguel gonna say some shit like this. Yo, those ain't Cuba cans. Those are my cans. I said, man, I don't give a fuck what cans it is, man. Cause now I got real, cause I see this nigga saying some other shit. I ain't even talking to this nigga. You heard it? But I remember I told you, it was times I be wanting to knock the nigga out, but it was times like I'm just telling you, you heard? Mm-hmm. I've been holding back because the time allowance and all that, you heard? You know what I'm saying? But I think I went to the time allowance already. Yeah, I went to the time allowance already, I think. You heard? Mm-hmm. I think I went to the time allowance already. You heard? So boom. So now, so he was like, I was like, man, shut up, man. So he was like, man, and he was about to say some shit like, we could shoot 5 minutes, and I didn't even let him get the 5 minutes out. I just hit him at that when he was like, we could pop. And when I hit him, the nigga fell on the floor and he was bleeding, leaking from like his nose or his mouth or somewhere. And I just tapped him. You know what I'm saying? But I used to work out every day. I had a mean workout team in the yard. So we was monsters. You know what I'm saying? We was monsters. We used to do 2 body parts a day. We was on it. So I just hit him with a light jab. The nigga was on the floor leaking. So, and the CO seen everything. The CO seen everything. You heard? So I'm thinking the CO gonna pull a pin. I'm thinking the CO gonna pull a pin. The CO ain't do shit. The CO let that shit. Then I told the nigga, Miguel, I said, yo, Miguel. I said, now go and get your gun, because I knew he had a razor. I said, now go get your gun so I can make you eat it. You heard? You know what I'm saying? And the police was right there at the end of the company, sitting in the chair, watching the whole thing happen. Yeah.
How you knew he had a razor?
No, because I've been on the company with him for like a year. You heard? I know what them niggas had. I told you, me, Cuba, and Miguel was porters on the company, so I knew what the niggas had. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, and Cuba was sick because Cuba was already out the gate going down the commissary when it happened. I don't even think Cuba seen it. You heard? So boom. So I said, yeah, when he was on the floor, I said, yeah, now go to your cell and get your gun so I can make you eat it, you bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? And then got up, went to his cell, and locked his cell. So boom. I had a few niggas that was in their cell. You heard they wasn't going to commissary at that was the first call out for commissary. They wasn't going at that commissary. So they was like, yo, L man, yo, that nigga trying to trap you off, man. Chill, L, chill. So I thought it was already done. But I locked in my cell, I'm thinking that the police, I'm like, damn, I'm locked up, B. I done fucked up with this nigga, B. You know what I'm saying? I done fell for this nigga shit. Boom. But the CO cracked my cell. Told my commissary going out. You heard? I was out. So boom, I went to commissary, ran into my man Jay, one of my workout partners, Big Jay. I was like, yo, Jay, man, I fucked up, man. He's like, well, what happened? Because we always going home around the same time. And we used to work out all together, and we always going home. So we just talk. We was in that zone, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, man, I fucked up, B. I just knocked that nigga Miguel out. You heard? He's like, word? I said, yeah, the police ain't do shit, eh? He's like, oh, word? He's like, niggas don't like that nigga Miguel. That nigga's a bitch. He's like, yo, man, Lad, man, L, you fucking up, though, man. Come on, man. Over Miguel, come on, man, you gonna blow everything over that nigga? I'm like, nah, man, I'm tired of that nigga, B. I'm tired of that nigga. You don't know, man. You don't know how many times I held back from knocking that nigga out, B. That nigga's a bird, you know what I'm saying? You know, and only reason why I was holding back, because like I told you, I'm trying to go to time allowance committee. I had 27 months recommended. And Whitney, they was giving you all your time back. They didn't give me all my time back, but they was giving niggas all their time back. If niggas went through, it was niggas going to the time allowance with 8-9 years recommended. And they was telling niggas, yo, go back, get your GED, go back, get ART, and we'll send you, give you a new date. And niggas was going back 6 months later, get their GED or get the ART or get the NA or whatever they told you to go get, and coming right back, right into the time allowance committee, that you finished everything, and they put you in for a new date, and next thing you know, they send you. They was sending dudes home. I'm talking about dude, and you know when you pass your CR and all that, you go home immediately. You heard? When they give you your date, you heard? If they gonna let you go, and that they were doing it, Wendy. They wasn't doing that in none of them other spots. I'm talking about, I was in a lot of spots. I was in Coxsackie, Knapp, Clinton, Wendy, Attica, all them spots. They wasn't doing none of that shit, you heard? I was in Washington, Sing Sing, you heard? They wasn't doing none of that shit, you know what I'm saying? You had 2 years recommended, they was taking that shit. 2 years, we taking it, you heard? Oh, you got 2 years recommended? We taking 18 months, you heard? Like they was doing niggas dirty, you heard? So I was trying to go home. So boom. They waited like a week. One day, like a week passed after I knocked the dude out, Miguel out. Like a week passed. I go to the child one day. Boom. Go to child, me and my man. So I ain't really eating. I think I used to, like if they got something that I'm really not eating, I get 3 scoops of rice, and I'm one of them niggas. I can eat the rice, you heard, with some salt and pepper and butter, you heard. So boom, I think I went for the rice or some shit, to walk for the rice or whatever. Boom, so I'm walking for me and my man sitting at the table, and he noticed that the CO keep looking over at us. And I had noticed it too. It was a lady CO. It was a dyke chick, lady CO. And she kept looking our way while we was eating and shit. And my man was on point, because my man was like, yo, you ain't noticing that lady CO keep looking over here at us? And I was like, yeah, I noticed that, B. You heard? So then when it was almost now we all finished eating. We sitting there for a mad long time. So now and we know something happened. You know what I'm saying? Because when when they keeping you in the mess hall because something happened, ain't no movement, shut down, whatever. Boom. So we know something happened. So then when they do tell us to let's go, I get up. We at the back of the line. And the lady seal come right up to me, cause she our lady seal from my block. So she come right up to me, she like, you such and such, right? Call me by my last name. I'm like, yeah. She like, yeah, well, she like, go to the back of the line. I think I was in the regular line, and then she told me to go to the back of the line, you heard? So I went to the back of the line, and we walked to the block. As soon as I get in the block, it's the sergeant, captain, the lieutenant, everybody there, you heard? So they pulled me in a little room. They like, yo, we're gonna tell you what's going on, man. One of your neighbors, they said, you got beef with somebody? You got beef with your neighbors? I was like, nah, I ain't got no beef with nobody. They was like, well, you got beef with one of them because they was the only ones that didn't go to child, and they was the only ones in their cells, and your cell is burned up. You heard? So he's like, you ain't got no drama or nothing with them? I was like, nah, I ain't got no drama or nothing with them. He was like, oh, all right, you look like one of them guys that's gonna handle it yourself. You know, I was looking at that look like, yeah, you know I am, you heard? So boom.
Thurston Howard III, you heard? Brownsville legend, new video out now. Link in the description to this video and pinned in the comments. Holla at me.
Your cell is burned up, you heard? You ain't got no drama or nothing with them? I was like, nah, I ain't got no drama or nothing with them. He was like, oh, all right, you look like one of them guys that's gonna handle it yourself. You know, I was looking at that look like, yeah, you know I am, you heard? So boom. So he's like, this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna let you go up there, get your stuff, get whatever that you want, whatever you don't want. Somebody will clean it out. We're gonna move you to another block. We're gonna put you on 3-day investigation, and we'll go from there. You heard? I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. So boom, they take me upstairs. Now that the CO is standing right next to me, but not right next to me. He's on the side of me. So I'm standing in front of my cell, and they asked me. They said, "Yo, pick somebody that you want to do that go in your cell," because they wouldn't let me go in my cell and pick all my stuff up and put it in bags and take whatever I wanted. They let me stand in front of my cell to tell somebody. I had to pick somebody off the company to do it. I picked my man Gus. My man Gus. Me and Gus was in Clinton together. We used to eat and all that together. And we used to play basketball and shit together. So I picked my man Gus from Harlem. I said, yo, Gus, you want to do it? I'm going on. So Gus said, yeah. So Gus, I'm standing in front of my cell. And so as I'm standing in front of my cell, my two neighbors is there. Now, on one side, I had this Spanish dude named Green Eyes. And on the other side, I had this Spanish dude named Outlaw. You heard? And the nigga Miguel that I knocked out is Spanish, you heard? You heard? So this is where all this is coming from. Because I told you, this happened. They waited exactly a week after I knocked Miguel out, you heard? You know what I'm saying? They kind of like rocked me to sleep, but I don't know. As I told you, Miguel and them niggas get the bag, so, and outlawing them niggas was crazy dope fiends, you heard? It wasn't nothing for them to do, because the whole thing was, because they niggas would do anything for that shit up there, you know what I'm saying? So boom. So now, I'm standing there with the police on the side of me. The nigga Green Eyes, he up on his gate, pointing to the nigga Outlaw. He like, yo, he did it. So the CO almost caught the nigga because I was looking at too long, and the CO tried to look over, and he stopped saying he did it, but the CO didn't catch him, but the CO almost caught the nigga. But I was peeping how the nigga. Like, soon as he seen me, he was telling on his man, you heard? Because even though, niggas was down together, you heard? Make a long story short, because both of them niggas was starving, eating out the garbage, and Miguel and them niggas, not even Cuba, Miguel was taking care of them niggas, because I told you the niggas was getting the bag. So make a long story short, I get my stuff. I take a lot of stuff, but I ain't gonna lie. I left a few things. I left like shit. You know how like in a fire, shit be getting brown and black, right? That smoke and all that shit that be fucking shit up. Mm-hmm. So it was a lot of sneakers, like not a lot, like 2 pair of sneakers, like a few other items that I was like, nah, I don't want that. 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 So boom. So they moved me to C block. So now I'm in C block. Homeboy that burned my cell, green eyes nigga, the nigga that was telling me that it was outlaw, he signed in. Right after they took me out the company, he signed in. He called the police and said, yo, I want to sign in, you heard? They put him in PC. Outlaw, he was staying there. Miguel went to the chaplain, because Miguel had juice with the chaplain. Miguel could have anybody move. He was snitching and all that shit through the chaplain. You heard? That nigga Miguel was strong. That's why, that was another thing about the nigga. You know what I'm saying? He'll have niggas move. Like if he was intimidated about you, he'll try to have you move. He tried to have me move. He fucked up the back of my toilet. You heard? When my toilet wasn't working one time and they moved me. And my toilet got fucked up from the back. And he had access to the back. You heard? He think I didn't know, you heard? Because he thought that they was gonna move me and that was gonna be it, and I was gonna be off the company. You know what I'm saying? This was when I first started dealing with the white boy, you heard? But it didn't work, you heard? It did not work. Because I got to D block. When my toilet got fixed, I told them niggas to send me right back, you heard? I told them niggas, and I was in D block with official niggas, and niggas was dying for me to stay over there with them, you heard? Box and Shine, all the niggas was like, yo, why you going back over to B block? You know what I'm saying? I was like, cause I was used to that shit. That's where I was coming up at over there. So I wanted to go right the fuck back. So I went right the fuck back. I stood over in I think D block for like 6 days until my toilet got fixed and they moved me back. So boom, the nigga Gus that cleaned up my cell with fire. He cleans up the stuff that I said I didn't want. Remember I told you it was like 2 pair of sneakers, this and that. He cleans them shits up. Shits was almost brand new anyway, but he cleans them up off all that black shit over it. Word to my mother, why this? Because they don't fit him. The sneakers and shit don't fit him. He takes the shit to the yard trying to sell the shit. You heard? Yo, my little homie Cold Red and them niggas found out that he was doing that. He was trying to sell my shit in the yard. They ain't even give a fuck if I gave it to him or not. They blew him, you heard? They blew him, you heard? My little homie Cold Red, you heard? Had 33 years, you heard? Nigga was only like 19, you heard?
Where he was from? Cold Red.
He was from Brooklyn. He was from Brooklyn, but he caught his case in Middletown, I think, or he caught his case upstate. You heard? Caught his case upstate, but he was a young boy, and I fucked with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I was like 20 something at the time, but he was a young boy. He did that just because he know who I am and he fucked with me like that. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So he's like, what? Nigga selling L shit in the yard? Nigga went and blew the nigga. Bloom. So now the kite come back. Remember, I'm not in the block. And I couldn't stop it, because if I was there, I would have stopped it, because that's my little man Gus, you know what I'm saying? And I gave him that shit, you know what I'm saying? But niggas just ain't like the fact that the homie cell got burned and you in the fucking yard selling this stuff. That ain't look right, you heard? So that's why he got blown. So he got blown. So then boom, Cuba came out for feed up. My little man Smooth caught the nigga, knocked him out. Boom! He falls and breaks his leg. Then my man Smooth jumped back in the cell and locked back in, because you know how that shit go. Like, once something, you can even be cool with a nigga. Once something start, he ain't had nothing to do with it. But at the end of the day, everybody gotta go. You know how that shit go when niggas happen. You heard? So it was a situation like that. Everybody had to go, and so now boom, now the dude that actually did it, Outlaw, my other neighbor, he's watching everybody firing the PC. He's hearing niggas getting shot in the yard. He's hearing Cuba got my man popped his head over his broke his leg. You know, so he like, all right, I'm gonna say I ain't do that shit. You heard? I'm gonna say that was them niggas. You heard? Cause nobody was there to really say he did it, but everybody know he did it. You heard? I know he did it, cause he was the only nigga. He was my only nigga that was able to do that. Everybody in the company I knew, even the nigga Green Eyes. That's why I told you. Soon as I came back, soon as Green Eyes seen, Green Eyes was like, it was him. 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 Cause Green Eyes already know how I was on it up there in there. Like I wasn't just putting in work up there. I was strong in the spot, B. And my block, I was crazy strong in there. And I was a young dude. I was a young dude that was strong in my block and B block. You know what I'm saying? Because you had Foreman in there, you had J-Dub, you had Skip from Harlem, you had Big J, you had the other Big J. You heard? All these niggas is big names. And these niggas is the gangsters for real. You heard? Running the spots. I got everybody know them. You know what I'm saying? And everybody from different boroughs. Foreman from Brooklyn, J-Dub from the X, Skip from Harlem, you know what I'm saying? Big J from Harlem, the other J is from the Bronx. And it was a lot of heavy hitters in the spot, period. Because one thing about Wendy, it's small, but it be a lot of dangerous cats in there, man. It be having a lot of dangerous cats, man. And Foreman had just came out of Adam Hussein for 4 years. So, like I said, everybody that was serious in that jail, they mostly had in B block. If they wanted to keep an eye on you, you was in my block. Now, the other blocks was loose. I'm talking about niggas that's smoking weed.
Yo.
Nah, I thought my shit went off. Niggas is smoking weed. Niggas is fucking with the joints, the chicks. You heard? I'm not gonna even lie. Niggas was knocking bitches off from there, bitch. I know they was. You heard? Official. Not none of that bullshit shit either, bitch. You heard? Niggas was doing them. It just wasn't a lot, you know what I'm saying?
What he did to set your cell on fire, though?
Probably just put a little tissue on something, tissue, and put the fire on and just do it, and stick your hand over and throw it in my cell.
And the shit flamed up crazy, or it was a little small fire?
No, it wasn't that bad. It was a bad fire, but it didn't destroy all my stuff. You heard? I still had all my stuff, my pictures. It really messed up all. You know how like niggas be having their beds hooked up with the quilts and all that. I was rocking burgundy. My shit was burgundy. You heard? Mm-hmm. My whole cell was burgundy. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about that burgundy velour blanket?
Yeah, the famous jailhouse burgundy velour blanket.
Everybody had that burgundy blanket, man.
Word up, man. Them niggas killed us. Them niggas made so much money off us, big. You heard?
Word up.
Yo, I had that famous burgundy blanket. I had the famous burgundy set. You heard? The jailhouse shit.
Word, I had the motherfucker. I had my lamp. I was feeling myself. I had my lamp, my little Walkman, my headphones.
And you gotta remember, I told you I was the store. So I had mad bags of chips. I had I had a net bag full of just nothing but chips. Then I had a net bag full with nothing but just like Swiss rolls and them cakes and all that shit, right? Then I had about 300 cans carrying everything, like 300 cans between beans, mac, salmon, and tuna fish. I had over 100 packs of cigarettes between Newports, Brugler, and Top. You know, I had like about 200, 300 packs of cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So I'm living in there. You heard? TV, everything. Super 3. I know you know about the Super 3s. You heard?
Yeah, you talking about the loudmouth?
Yeah, the loudmouth, the Super 3. You heard? Mm-hmm. Boom. Pumping. You heard? I can't tell niggas we ain't in New York or wherever we trying to be at. You heard? Boom. So boom. So you know, like I said, all of that hate, all of that living like that, and really not giving a fuck. Like when people, that alone, people hate you for that on the low. You heard? Some people attract to you for that. So a lot of people in jail, like niggas fuck with you because they be like, oh yeah, son, keep it official, son moving official. But it's a lot of funny niggas that be on the low, like They be hating on you. Them niggas be stayed down, you heard? Them niggas don't be eating, you heard? Them niggas don't be having no commissary. Them niggas ain't smoking, you heard? Them niggas ain't doing nothing, you heard? They just bidding. They in a raggedy ass cell, you heard? Begging niggas for top, you heard? Nah, how many niggas I used to be getting on niggas. I was one of them niggas. I used to be getting on niggas, be up top. If I see you doing some funny shit, you smoking top and all that, like, yo, nigga, when I see you in the street, B, I'm gonna tell niggas you was smoking that top up there, B. You heard? You ain't gonna be giving the front, B. Nah, I was making shit a joke and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, I always had niggas fucking with me. I wasn't the type of nigga that be in a company or in a dorm that niggas don't like. And nah, man, everybody fuck with the kid cause I'm a funny nigga. I ain't running around acting like I'm super gangster or I'm better than niggas and all that. I'm a regular nigga. You heard? So boom. Back to the story with this nigga. My man's knocked Cuba out. He hit the floor. This nigga thinking he gonna tell people he ain't had nothing to do with it because nobody was actually there when he burned my cell. And everybody else signed in and all that already. So, you know, he thinking that he gonna get away. So he wound up getting off keep lock. Right? So my man Pee-wee was left on the company. Now my man Pee-wee was gonna get him. My man Pee-wee was official Spanish dude from out the ex. God bless my man. He came home and got murdered, you know what I'm saying? But my man was crazy official. Before I met him, he already just did a 9-year bid. He maxed out on a 3 to 9, you heard? So he was back on a new bid. He was back on I think a 3 to 6 or something, you heard? But he just maxed out on 9 years, and all the max spots were all the real right niggas. So he official. So every nigga, when me and Pee-wee was together, every Spanish dude, and I'm not even fronting nothing, every Spanish dude that came in the block, they went up under Pee-wee. And I don't care who they was. I don't care if they was official or not, because that's just how Pee-wee was. He wasn't no big, brolic, or crazy gangster-looking nigga, but he had credentials. Like like Spanish niggas that was been bidding and been doing this shit, they know him. You heard? He was putting in work. I told you he had a 3 to 9. His last bid, he did the whole 9 years. So boom, he official. So he had all the Spanish dudes, and I ain't gonna lie, I had all the black dudes. You know what I'm saying? And we from the X, and that's how we was rolling them. And then we got the OG niggas over us in the block, J-Dub and all of them. But they ain't got nothing to do with what we doing, and we ain't got shit to do with what they doing. But the respect is there. Like I told you, J-Dub know my whole family. You know what I'm saying? J-Dub knew my moms and my pops. You know what I'm saying? So I was fucking with J-Dub, Farmer, and all of them. They all fucked with me, you heard? You know what I'm saying? So boom. So now my man Pee-wee was left on the company when they moved me. My man Pee-wee was going to get him, but my man Pee-wee hand was broke. A week before that, he had broke his hand. Before I got into my incident, a week before that, he had broke his hand on somebody in the program. I think he had punched somebody and he had broke his hand. And basically, so he only had one hand. So my man Pee-wee is on some low-key shit. You know, my man Pee-wee been in jail. He been doing this shit. So he know how he gonna get him, you know what I'm saying? So boom. My man Pee-wee going to the shower one day. This nigga shits my man. No, he throw piss on my man Pee-wee. You heard? So when he did that, my man Pee-wee was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you." You know how the game go. He went in the cell and all that. But like I told you, in Wendy, they be snitching, B. So I don't know if it was the dude that snitched or somebody that snitched. Somehow they came, they packed my man Pee-wee up. They told Pee-wee, "You packing up, you going to another block." I'm talking about right after piss got thrown on him. You heard? Right after piss got thrown on him, they come to his cell in a couple hours or the next day. First they locked him up, and they came to his cell and they said, "Yo, you going to another block." They sent them to my block. I was in C block at the time. They sent them to my block. And they put him on the same company as me. So when he came, this nigga was actually crying. My man Pee Wee was crying. He was like, yo, man, I've been doing this shit for so fucking long, man. I ain't never had a nigga throw nothing on me, man. This nigga threw piss on me, Al. This nigga threw piss on me. Now I'm on the gate like this, cause I'm mad because I'm like, damn, man. I want to get this nigga, B. This nigga fucking burned my cell, B. And now he threw piss on my man Pee Wee, got my man Pee Wee crying out this shit. So I ain't saying this on the gate, but I'm saying it to myself. And then, so when I let Pee Wee finish saying what he was saying, and I said, yo, Pee Wee, so don't worry about that shit, bro. When I see that nigga, I'm gonna get that nigga. You heard? I swear to God, that's all I said. The nigga, like a half an hour later, they was like, child going out. I went out to child. Who I landed there with? The nigga that burned my cell. You heard? So boom, as soon as I come in the mess hall, I see the nigga. The nigga see me. I'm like, oh yeah, all right. So Wendy, the way that they got the tables, it's a small jail. Everything is small, so everything, like I was just counting the people so I could sit right next to them or right in front of them or whatever. You heard? So boom. I picked people, I did what I had to do to make sure I was gonna get close with him. As soon as he see me, he tried to go, yo, I gotta talk to you. He started going, like a nigga go with their hands, yo, I gotta talk to you, B. I gotta talk to you, B. You heard? I told you he was gonna try to go with, yo, I ain't do that. Them niggas that signed in, them niggas Cuban, all them niggas did that. You heard? I ain't had nothing to do with that, B. You heard? That's what he was gonna try to do. So boom. So I was like, yeah. I was rocking him to sleep on the line. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to you. Yeah, no problem. And I threw on my best acting I could do, meaning like trying to make it seem like I wasn't really worried about nothing like that. Like I just wanted to talk to him, you heard? Like I was a lame or whatever, you heard? So I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get this nigga. Boom. So I ain't even take no food, no plate, no nothing, cause all I took was my motherfucking, they give you the classic food and sport, the plastic knife and whatever they give you at the end, or whatever they give you at the end. Boom, the utensils or whatever. That's the only thing I took, because I felt if I would have took the tray and everything, I would have hit them with the whole tray, you heard? So boom, so I went like this. I landed where I could sit right in front of them, at the same table, right in front of them. But when I walked by him, I made it look like I was gonna sit down, but I didn't sit down. I just came with a fucking hook. Boom! First hit. Split his under his eye. First hit. Boom! Then I grabbed him like where a nigga put his tie at, where the ties be at. I grabbed him like right there with one hand, pushed him up on the table, and just started whacking him. Whack! 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 Hit the nigga about 6 or 7 times. Police behind me and a sergeant. Stop! Stop! It's like every hit that I hit him with, they were saying stop. But I wasn't stopping. They didn't even want to touch me. They was behind me. They didn't want to touch me. So boom. I finally stopped, because when I let the nigga go, the nigga fell on the table, like fell out on the table, like, and as I was hitting him, the whole mess hall was yelling, go L! Go L! Go L! Because everybody knew what that nigga did. Everybody knew that he burned my cell, you heard? And everybody was there to see me. Not everybody, but whoever was there to see me put in that work, that shit was ferocious. The whole mess hall was saying, go L! Go L! Go L! They said like 4 or 5 times. Then I stopped hitting the nigga and let the nigga fall on the motherfucking table. Then the police grabbed me, put me on the wall. They wasn't even grabbing me. You know how like police be jumping on niggas and manhandling niggas? They wasn't even doing that to me. They just put me on the wall. Get on the wall, get on the wall. I got on the wall. There was black COs too. It was a black sergeant and a lady CO and a male CO. And they was like, get on the wall, get on the wall. I got on the wall because I ain't gonna front. I ain't want them to whip my ass or nothing after that, because I knew what I just did in the mess hall or whatever. So boom, they took me out the mess hall, took me to my cell. No, they didn't take me to my cell. They took me to the slop sink first. And I had about 10 COs around me, about a sergeant, a lieutenant, All of them, they was all around me. And the sergeant nigga, I forgot the nigga name, white nigga, he was a gangster though. He was like, why you did that? Why you did that? I was like, I don't like the nigga. He was like, nah, I know why you did that. So the other CO nigga was like, we'll be taking him to the box. He was like, nah, take him back to his cell. That's why I tell you that the niggas was a gangster. Them COs was gangsters because I was supposed to go straight to the box. You get into something in the mess hall, straight to the box. You heard? Straight to the box. Nigga said, send him back to his cell. Everybody was shocked. COs, me, everybody. So I went back to my cell. Boom. Then after that, the COs that worked my company and everything, they was calling me Mike Tyson and all that. You heard? Because when I had to do my my property refund, you know that shit that shit because my cell got burned.
Yeah.
Because my cell got burned, I had to do my property shit. So when you do your property shit, a sergeant comes to talk to you about your property. He does the report. He does everything. And he was like, hey, Mike Tyson. He's like, yeah, we everybody talking about you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because the COs was happy that I caught up with that nigga too, because that nigga was burnt. That nigga, he wasn't burning the nigga's cell. He only burned my cell. But he was a nuisance. You heard? He was a bug out. You heard? The Dominican niggas wanted him in the spot because before he was my neighbor, he was in C block, and I heard he was throwing shit, piss and all that over there. Not shit, I think piss. And basically the Trinidadios niggas wanted him, but them niggas wasn't really trying to get at him. You heard? He was on key block, so they really wasn't trying to get at him. So they moved him to my block. They moved him right next door to me. But see, the word ain't come over with him. Like, if the word would have came over, yo, this nigga bug out, yo, get rid of that nigga, niggas would have got rid of him. But he seen all the drugs that was on the company. That nigga was like, that nigga chilled right out. You heard? And he fell right incognito to where niggas that wanted him didn't even know where he was at like that. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Because he seen that Cuba and these niggas was getting what they was getting, and these niggas was suckers. I'm saying, not Cuba. Cuba was a cool nigga. Cuba wasn't a sucker. He just was a cool nigga. Like, I won't even characterize a nigga like that as a sucker, but Miguel was a faggot sucker ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and he knew that he gonna get free everything up there, and they taking care of him because they kind of know that he a bug out. So, you know, they gonna use him for what he worth. And that's how they was on it. So boom. So make a long story short, he ain't going nowhere, right? So now they sent him to the outside hospital because when I spit his shit, the sergeant kept trying to ask the black police, Miss Williams. He cut that inmate, right? He cut him. And the inmate, Miss Williams, was like, nope, he hit that boy with his fist. Because I told you the first hit split his eye. You know what I'm saying? So it was looking like a cut. And they made everybody in the mess hall that day after they took me out the mess hall, they made everybody get in the chair. You heard? They made everybody sit in the chair. Niggas was dumb late going to program that day because that's where niggas was going after the mess hall. They was going to program. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So niggas was dumb late going to program. Everybody in the mess hall had to sit in the chair behind that shit that I did that day. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Cause they swore I cut the nigga. You heard? They was trying to get that. Boom. But it didn't work. Make a long story short, they gave me 6 months in the box for that. That's when they sent me back to Southport. You heard? That's when I went to Southport for the second time. But then I wound up going to Southport. I lost my good time. They took my good time. I lost my date. I had a date for February 6th before I had that fight. I had a date. Let me tell you this too, Laz. I had my date. They gave me my time allowance. They gave me my time back in June. The beginning of June, I got my time back. By the end of June, this incident happened. You heard? 3 weeks after I got my date, cause they send you a new compensation sheet, and the new compensation sheet said February 6th, 2002 is your release date, and we was in June of 2001. You heard? So I had less than 8 months and ready to go home. You heard? When I put it in on that nigga. So I put it in on that nigga. They gave me 6 months in the box. Took 6 months of good time. I already went to the time allowance committee, so they gave my time back. That's automatically taken. So my new date was August of 2022, 2002. You heard? But that was the part that was eating me up out of the whole ordeal. The whole ordeal, I just didn't understand how. Remember how I told you when I was in Clinton before, 2 months before the board, I got jammed up for the shit I ain't do? Now, I got my date, and a nigga burned my cell. You heard? What I'ma do? You heard? So I got put in a situation like I could have looked the other way. You heard? I went out my way to do that to that nigga in the mess hall. I didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But that's how I was living. So I was comfortable. I was comfortable with it. But after I did it, and after they took the time back and gave me a new date, I was sitting in my cell like this, like, damn, lad, man, what's up with you, B? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit's ugly, man. Every time I'm about to go home or something good about to happen for a nigga, you heard, here goes something crazy. You know what I'm saying? So boom, when I went to Southport for 6 months, came out to Southport, my tag say I got about 10 months left to do in jail to my new date to go home. I see my bags say Auburn on it. You heard? My bags say Auburn on it. I'm waiting for I'm at the gates about to get on the bus. Word to my mother, a police come out of nowhere. We still in Southport. Police come out of nowhere with a marker and scratch my bag, scratch my tag, put a line through my name, through Auburn, and put Attica. You heard? Yo, I was dumb sick. You heard? Because I ain't gonna lie, man. I was trying to avoid Attica, you heard? I'm keeping it real, bro. I've been hearing about them stories throughout the state, man. I was like, man, I was hearing how they stick their finger up your ass and all that. And that shit is 100% true, B.
Right. Stick their finger up your ass.
Man, they be sticking their hand, they stick their hand up the crack in your ass, you heard?
What
and then
you
when
mean,
they
like
do
the
it,
crack of your ass or in your ass?
Nah, the crack in your ass, you know how like credit card?
That's violation, bro.
Yo, bro, you ain't never heard the stories of Attica, bro? How they do niggas? Bro, they do everybody like that, bro. Bro, they do everybody like that. That's why there's a lot of niggas that be going to Attica, they be going straight to the box and all that. Yo, bro, ain't no jail like Attica up there, bro. You heard? Them niggas, you know what them niggas, this is what they did to me my first time when I got to Attica. Three niggas coming at me. 3 Spanish niggas coming at me, throwing punches. I start boop, 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 boop. Niggas ain't doing shit. Swinging at the air. But on my far right corner, on my far left corner, a nigga trying to come with a little banger. The first time I went to the yard, in Attica, when you go to the yard, all the police be at the front, at the door. I'm talking about, it be like 9 police, sergeant in all, and they be at the door, like they be on the door as all the inmates coming out the door. They be standing at the door, like looking at everybody in their face, and they know if you knew or not. You heard? They know, cause they know everybody. That's word to my mother. They pull you out. The niggas is going to the yard. They pull you out, throw you on the wall. They spread you out. You know how they spread you out? But they don't spread you out like how the regular police spread you out in all the other jails. They spread you out, bro. They have your legs. They have you linked off the wall so far with your legs so far back, and then they kick your legs wide out. You heard? They kick them out. You heard? Mm-hmm. And then they tell you, don't come off that wall. You take your hand off that wall, we gonna kill you in this shit. And bro. They be all, and it's the big white boys that's doing this shit to you. It ain't them little regular white boys. It's the big ones, the big, diesel, tall niggas that be standing over niggas with the blonde hair and all that. You heard?
The mountain men, man. They be having the mountain men.
You heard? And they stand. I'm talking about. They be breathing down your ear, talking to you. They be like, now take that shoe, take your left shoe off with your right hand. You heard? So now you gotta understand. You got like 6 white boys on your neck. Now I'm gonna tell you about what happened with me, the story with me. They threw me on the wall. I'm on the wall. They kicked my legs all the way back. They're like, yeah, now, and I ain't gonna front. I'm nervous because I got like 6 big white boys on me, right? And one of them is a chick, and I hear the chick. It's a brother and sister. You heard? Mm. It was a brother and sister. It was a chick, and the dude that was doing a lot of this shit was her brother. You heard? So they pulled me out. I just got there, my first time going to the yard. They pulled me out because I told you they be on the door like this. All of them be like how niggas be on the island when they be on looking through the thing. That's how they be on the door, and they be picking niggas out that they know that's new. You heard? Or they don't like. You heard? Mm. They be like, get on the wall. And when you get on the wall, they tell you right there, don't take your hands off the wall. You take your hands off the wall, it's over for you. You heard? And then they start that jail, that CO shit. Yeah, take your right shoe off with your left hand. And don't be easy. Yo, they had me so nervous, Laz. The lady CO had to say, come on, guys, stop this. I'm getting tired of this right now. I'm getting tired of this. I'm talking about the lady almost went into like a nervous breakdown because this is how they do this shit to so many people. She seen that they was about to do me dirty. You heard? Mm. She seen that they was about to do me dirty. So the only way she stopped it was because she got mad emotional. She's like, yo, I'm tired of this. I'm just tired of this with y'all. I'm kidding. Like she was saying it in her own words, but basically I was hearing her, and I was happy she was saying that shit because they was on the verge of doing something to me because I was a little nervous, and like I said, they got your feet spread so far out that it's hard to take your shoe off with the other hand. You heard?
Yeah, that should be a setup. They do that shit in Comstock. It's almost impossible to not take your hand off that wall. And then once you take it off, they pounding you out.
Yeah. And the lady said that they was about to do that. And this is my first day there, Laz, going to the yard. My first day, they ready to pound me out and send me to the box. And another thing they used to do in Attica, they'll do that, they'll pound your ass out, and they give you 3 years in the box, and give you a new one. Attica was foul. Foul. When I say foul, man, that shit was foul up there, B. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas, and I met mad niggas in the box at Southport, niggas teeth knocked out. When you ask them what, they'll tell you the story. Yeah, the police knocked my teeth out in Attica, B. You heard? I got a lawsuit. You heard? Yeah, they gave me 3 years, B. And they gave me a new one. You heard? They coming to get me. I'm going up to court to Attica for a new one. You hear this shit? I'm like, yo, man. So now I was there. I escaped that shit. You know what I'm saying? But boom, as soon as I go to the yard, that's the least of my problems. I make it to the yard, my first day in the yard. Who I see? The nigga I knocked out. You heard? Miguel. You heard? Mm. He's spinning the yard with 2 Spanish dudes. So boom, I see him. I'm with my son twin from 183rd. He's from the Bronx. My Spanish bro twin. You heard? He got a twin brother. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So I'm with him. So I know him from another spot. So I'm with him. Like, oh, what up, twin? We kicking it. We spinning the yard. So then I wound up seeing the kid Miguel. So I said, oh shit. So you know how like when you see a nigga try to go like this with it, like say what's up to you with his hand. You heard? He tried to. Cause he's scared. I could tell he was scared when he seen me. He was like, oh shit, like hell. So I was like, I looked at him and he was like, what's up? But I ain't say what's up back to him. So I kept it walking. So I put my man Twin on. I was like, yo, Twin, you see that nigga in that's walking with them 2 Spanish kids right there? I said, yeah, well, that's the reason why I'm here, because I fuck around. I knocked that nigga out in Wendy. That nigga signed in. Nigga signed in all that. That nigga's a bitch. You heard? So as soon as I said that, Twin was like, "Oh word, yeah, that nigga." He said the niggas he with the head guard, you know, he with the head Latin King nigga, and he with the second head Latin King nigga. He get all the drugs and they extorting the nigga. I said, yeah, I know. A nigga get the bag. His girl live in Buffalo. I said, she's still coming. He like, yeah, she's still coming. I said, oh, all right. I said, that ain't. So he's like, I know the headline king nigga. That's my man. You want me to go? You want me to tell him you want to kick it with him? I said, yeah. Tell him I want to kick it with him and let him know something. So he's like, yo, son, yo, bro, this my bro, Al, bro, yo, he want to kick it with you, bro. So he stopped. They pulled up. All 3 of them pulled up. Him, the headline king nigga, the second headline king nigga, and the nigga Miguel. And so I go, yeah. I said, yo, more or less, yeah, homeboy right here. I knocked the nigga out in the last spot. He started a whole big shit. You know what I'm saying? That nigga's a bitch. You heard? Nigga signed in the whole spot. In the other spot. I knocked him out and he signed in the other spot. So the Latin King nigga, he gonna say, the nigga named, he gonna talk about, oh yeah, well, he told us about it and he under us now, so you know that shit is dead. So I'm looking at this nigga like, who the fuck is you, B? You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't with these niggas, B. You heard? So boom, I just spent off, you know, cause me and my man Twin spent off, cause we already know what it is now. You heard? Now, this is another thing. He said, now, if I go by off what he said, them niggas is suckers. That's why I tell you, that's why I tell you, the way I was on it, I'm glad I was on it the way I was on it. I don't really be caring about how niggas be trying to get down and all that, because niggas, a lot of them dudes that be acting like they official, them niggas ain't official. Them niggas be suckers. Because he gonna tell me like this. He gonna say, yo, yeah, he told me about it. Yeah, but he down with us now. That shit is dead. You heard? All right. I spent off. You heard? I ain't say much because, you know, he a headline king nigga. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell you what's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? So I spent off. You know what I'm saying? Me and my man Trent spent off. So boom. We go to line up to go in. It's daytime, y'all, at the time. We go to line up, and every company got to line up a different place in that yard in Attica. Like, niggas be over there, that company over here, this company over. So depending on what company you on, that's where you got to line up at. So I'm on a line where my company is at. I see 2 Spanish niggas trying to sneak by me, but they trying to play the wall, but they think I don't see them. You know? They waiting for me to give my whole bag, or I guess, or whatever. Like, what trying to? Well, they was sent to try to do something, but it was too late. It was like a kamikaze mission. You heard? It was too late because my house was already going in. So if they would have jumped off, it wouldn't have been nothing that really got jumping, because the police was right there. So basically, they didn't get a chance to do nothing. So boom, I went in, but I was glad that happened because it let me know that it's still on. That nigga talking about it's dead. The nigga's a bird, you know what I'm saying? So boom, so I go in. Like I told you, I don't really know nobody. I know people, but I ain't seeing nobody that I know yet. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom. So boom, I'm in there. Now I had a choice. I could have stayed in my cell and wait till I see somebody to try to get something and then go out to the yard. But I said, nah, nigga, going to the yard, nigga. You heard? Went to the night yard with no help, no nothing. Boom, go to the night yard. Pitch. Boom, I go to the bar. I'm on the bar. My man Twin come out. Me and Twin on the bar. So when me and Twin decide to spin, when everybody come out, me and Twin decide to spin. We get on like our third or fourth spin of the yard. 3 niggas coming at me. 3 Spanish niggas coming at me, throwing punches. I start boop, 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 boop. Niggas ain't doing shit. Swinging at the air. But on my far right corner, on my far left corner, a nigga trying to come with a little banger. I can see it. You heard? I see it all like a movie. So I'm like, oh, all right. Boom, 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 boom. So I throw a few punches, then I start backing up, you know, into the field, into the field. You heard? So now the police see everything because the Spanish niggas that I was fighting, they on a straight doja mission. They coming at me like they got real beef with me and all that. Boom, my man. It's only me and my man Twin going out with like 4 niggas. You heard? But that the fight shit was diversion. They tried to throw the fight, and the other nigga was gonna try to come poke me. You heard? Ain't work. Boom, boom. Police bust a shot. Boom, boom. Get on the floor. Everybody on the floor. They come out. They get me. Boom. So now Attica Raw, man. They could almost kill you in there. They won't move you. You heard? So boom. I got a fight. It's a regular. They right there for a fight, right? Boom. So now I'm locked up with 3 days. They coming to see me. The sergeant come see me. Procedure. You want to go to PC? This and that. Nah, I don't want to go to PC. All right, boom, boom. They only gave me like 10 days for that fight. You heard? Attica, they give a nigga 30 days for a cutting, big. You heard? Attica Raw, big. They gave me 10 days for a fight. Right? Boom. So now, the next 3 days, the sergeant keep coming to my cell, or the captain, or whatever you want to call him. He keep coming to my cell. Step out, pulling me in the office. Like, yo, the first 2 days, he pulled me. He's like, yo, he said, like, you don't want to go to, you sure you don't want to go to PC? I'm like, no, I don't want to go to PC. He's like, all right. Boom, send him back to the cell. Go back to my cell. 3rd day, called me out again. Yo, man, I don't know what I'm going to do with you, man, but I'm getting a lot of slips dropped on you. You heard? I'm getting a lot of slips. I'm getting a lot of slips dropped saying that it's going to be a war over you. If they don't get you out of here, it's going to be a crazy war. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. You know? He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do with you, and you don't want to go to PC. He said, well, I'll decide what I'm going to do with you in a couple of days, and I don't know if I'll send you to another block or what. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So I said, all right, whatever, man. You heard? He said, you sure you don't want to go to PC? I said, no. You heard? Nigga said, all right. Boom. So now, but the reason why it was a lot of shit going on that I didn't know nothing about was, because what happened was, there was a few homies that I knew that was in the yard that day, but they didn't see what happened. They didn't know that happened with me. Even though I wasn't blood no more, like I told you, I was official. I didn't leave the bloods on no corny shit. I didn't leave the blood getting cut or nigga doing some sucker shit or nothing. I just woke up one day and I said, I'm leaving that shit alone, and I left that shit alone. And I put in bad work. So niggas couldn't tell me nothing. So anybody that was around me, when they was around me, they'll be like, oh, that's my homie, that's my man, because they know about the work that I put in. So at the end of the day, there was a lot of niggas like that in there that was in the block that they didn't know that happened. That was me that got into that problem, because like I told you, that was my first day in the yard. So boom, I got in contact with my son Germs. My son Germs, he was blood. He had that block of Attica at the time. My son Germs, you heard? So boom, from the Bronx. He got deported. Did 15, got deported. So boom. So I found out that my son Germs was in the block. So I sent a letter to him, and I rode with my son Germs in some major beef when he had in Clinton. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So it was like a one hand washing the other. You heard? Like like that. That's how you. That's one thing about prison. You never know. You know, you might be there for a person, and a person might be there for you. You know what I'm saying? Or might be vice versa. You never know, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's just best to be a good person and go by the rules of this shit. You heard? So boom. So make a long story short, I found out my son Germs was there, and like 2 years before that, I didn't save his life or nothing in Attica, but I was riding with him. I'm talking about he had major beef with some nigga, and all the niggas, nobody was on his side. Everybody was against him because this nigga was a major nigga, and he was a drug boy, so everybody knew him, and he get busy. So and he been in jail for years, and everybody know him. He from Brooklyn, official cat. You know what I'm saying? So. And him and my man had to go gun to gun. And that's what happened when my man Germs went gun to gun. And I was the only nigga with my man Germs. Even blood niggas was talking about, oh, yo, I don't got nothing to do with that. I know the nigga. And this, get out of here. Niggas don't want to hear that shit. You heard? Niggas got drama. So, boom. Him and my son wound up going gun to gun. And I was the only nigga there with him. And he respected a lot of that. So, basically, now it's one hand. Now the other hand is on another foot. So, boom. Now I need something. So what I did was I was going home in 8 months. So I said, yo, I rolled a kite to him. I said, yo, Germs, more or less, I go home in 8 months. I don't want no homies. I don't want nobody popping off for me. I don't want nobody going down for me because I'm going home in 8 months. I'm supposed to be going home in 8 months, and this is my drama that I have from somewhere else. I said, but yo, all I want you to have a gun for me when I come out, and I want you to go to them niggas and make sure that I can get a fair one, a gun to gun, you heard? And he was like, and he sent me the kite back, he said, no problem. So now it just so happened, the nigga and Germs, them niggas had a relationship. Cause he was the head lad king nigga, and my son Germs was the head blood nigga in that block. So boom, they had a relationship. The nigga was setting up my son Germs. I'm keeping it 100. I'm keeping it all the way 100. So boom. So when I sent that kite to Germs sent me back the kite. He was like, yo, me and this nigga got a situation already, but he already know niggas should let niggas know before they got at you. So nigga, cause you family, you know what I'm saying? Even though you ain't blood no more, that shit don't mean shit. So he's like, yo, everything that you ask for, I'm gonna make sure that go down. So I was like, all right. So I heard he went to the nigga. He said, yo, that dude that y'all trying to jump the other day, that's my Scooby, that's my bro L. You heard? L Famous. That's my bro. When he come out, he wanna go gun to gun with one of your mans, B. You heard? For that shit that y'all tried to do. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, nah, bro. You know we can't do that, bro. You know we can't let one of our people go gun to gun. And then my man Jerry was like, well, then, if you can't do that, then me and my blood's gonna have to get in it, B. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's my Scooby. I'm telling you, that's my Scooby, nigga. You know? So he was like, yo, Germs. And like, the nigga, look how the nigga thing. Yo, Germs, man. I thought we was cool like that, man. We got a good situation. We're gonna let a nigga like that fuck up our situation? We're gonna let a nigga like that fuck up our situation? My man Germs told that nigga, I told you that's my Scooby, B. Y'all should have checked with niggas before y'all did that shit, B. You heard? He wanna go gun to gun with somebody and one of your mans, B. You know something? We gonna do that, B. We gonna do that, but he can't pick who we go gun to gun with. We gonna tell him who we gonna gun to gun with, you heard? But I guess my man Jerry said, well, my man don't give a fuck about that, you heard? It's settled then, you heard? When my man get out, he going gun to gun with one of your mans. So then that's why all the slips was being dropped on me. Remember I told you the sergeant kept pulling me out, asking me, do I want to go to PC? You heard? Because the Lang King niggas and Miguel faggot ass, they was dropping mad slips talking about, yo, such and such gonna get killed and this and that, or it's gonna start a war in here, it's gonna start a big war in here, and this and that and this. So I told you that the captain nigga was pulling me out every day, asking me, trying to get me to go to PC. Because these niggas is dropping slips on me because they want to get me out the block. And that's what they did. They wound up getting me out the block. You know what I'm saying? So they got me out the block, and I went to C block. I think I went to C block or B block, and that's where I was with Ball. Ran in the bar. I was bar neighbor. You know what I'm saying? I seen Ball going out for a shower or something. I said, yo, Ball was good, bro. You don't remember me? And he was like, at first he didn't really remember me. Then he was like, I was like, L, man, more 9, nigga. Yo, you remember, nigga? He's like, oh, shit, man. Yo, what's up? Then when he locked it, after he came back because he was going to the yard. When he came back from the yard, we was kicking it all night. We was talking about all that shit. And ain't nothing follow me over the C block or B block. Them Land King niggas just wanted me out of that block. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Because they had a good thing going on. And I heard they was still rocking out with the Kid Miguel.
On hood, we was young, taught to blow bung, reckless slums. Some got clipped, the soul is it. Peas with the coldest bricks, they hit. Big murder, 6s swerve up, shit real, word up. Yeah, Lazano, caked in Cabo. Nah, no convo, play Hermano. This new world shit, a few girl bricks, some two-door shit. My hood like Contra, the vigil somber till Blicks get bombed. Read Psalms, eat right, get money. I seen who loved me, that greed is funny. Unmatched, run the stats. Sun 6 summers back, it's Laz.